The movie Jaws has its genesis back to the year 1916 when a bunch of shark attacks took place at a resort. And it's a rather interesting story, and let me get it on the screen here real quick. I won't get all of it, but I'll try to get the core of it. One moment, please.
Welcome to Beach Haven, a slice of heaven on the New Jersey shore.
This is wonderful, and we can't wait for another great summer here.
I've been coming here since I was 18 months old. Love this place. Love the beach.
It's relaxing. It's just a beautiful beach.
The perfect place to take a dip and put your mind at ease. Unless, of course, you have a certain movie theme playing in your head. It was 41 years ago that Jaws left America trembling in fear. You know the story.
Shark! The shark!
A rogue shark terrorizing a tourist town.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
While the book and blockbuster film are fiction, 100 years ago in New Jersey, there was the real thing, with eerie similarities to Jaws.
It happened before, the Jersey Beach. 1916, there were five people chewed up in the surf. In 1 week. Tell them about the swimmers.
A series of deadly shark attacks, and it began right here in Beach Haven.
America thought they were having one last golden, gentle, innocent summer, but that wasn't to be.
Author and physician Richard Fernicola has written about the 1916 events.
The extraordinary nature of the attacks, the viciousness in that period, it still stands out. It stood out then, and it stands out even more perhaps in retrospect.
Back then, sharks were a distant offshore curiosity. It was widely assumed they would never pose a threat to man. That all changed July 1st, 1916, when a 25-year-old accountant from Philadelphia, Charles Van Sant, went for a swim and was viciously attacked. Doctors said there was no doubt he'd been killed by a shark. 5 days later, some 45 miles north in Spring Lake, a bellhop swam out beyond the breakers. He, too, was killed.
Here you had a case where there were no attacks for 50 or 100 years, and here you had two men in their 20s who were viciously mauled by a shark right in the beach zone.
And let me advance this a bit. I'm trying to get the core of it in. One moment, please.
So right where we're going over right now?
Right where we're going over right now, exactly.
It was here where the shark found Stillwell in the deepest part of that swimming hole and took him under.
It's such a serene spot.
Serene, tranquil, yes. It does
you
seem.
just would not expect
No.
that
No.
right here.
You wouldn't.
The other boys ran into town for help. 24-year-old Stanley Fisher was one of those who answered the call. He and others dove in to attempt a rescue, and it was Fisher who finally emerged with the boy's body. But the shark wasn't done.
He had come up to a little bit of a shallow on the bank and was viciously struck on the right thigh by this marauding shark. It spun him around twice, took him under twice.
The boy was dead. Fisher died a few hours later.
They dammed up the creek, and so the creek is more narrow and more shallow than it would have been at that time. So
random shark attacks are always front-page news. Although they're extremely rare, there were a record 98 attacks worldwide in 2015, including 6 fatalities. Last month, sharks bit swimmers off the coasts of Florida and California. But the experts say the fact of the matter is that humans are the real threat to sharks, with some 100 million killed every year, primarily for shark fin soup.
So we have 26 sharks in this exhibit. We have sand tiger sharks, which you can see above you right now. An important part of the food chain, and they're not these killing machines that are out there to eat humans or interact with humans. We are not on their menu. Sharks,
literally.
We are literally not on their menu. No.
And there's no better way to convince us of that than to take us into the shark tank.
You're my protector. Okay, I got you. Don't worry.
Heading into the tank can make you nervous, while these sand tiger and sandbar sharks were curious and came A little too close for comfort, the truth is these are not known for attacking humans. A far cry from the killer or killers a century ago. The 1916 Jersey Shore shark attacks ended soon after they began. While a great white shark was captured near Matawan Creek, the debate continues as to the culprit. Was it that great white? Was it a bull shark, which can swim in fresh water, or was it several sharks?
I still believe they stand out among shark attacks, perhaps even worldwide, as the Titanic of shark attacks because of their frequency, their ferocity, the scientific context.
At Stanley Fisher's gravesite, John Nichols pays his respects to the relative he never met but grew to know and admire.
He just was in the wrong place at the wrong time in a bizarre set of circumstances that will never be repeated again.
So you don't blame the shark, it sounds like.
I don't blame the shark. I mean, it was a collision course, and I don't hold any animosity toward that shark or sharks in general.
And if he doesn't, maybe we shouldn't either.
And that's a quick review of the shark issue. As I stated earlier, the movie Jaws has its genesis back to that time frame. And you saw there was a book written about the 1916 attacks and that took place in New Jersey at a resort. And that'll do it. Let me get a final screen on here.